The silent coup inside South African law enforcement South Africa stands on the edge of a justice system meltdown, and it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a documented digital paper trail that points straight to the top of our law enforcement and political hierarchy. What you're about to hear isn't a scandal. It's a coordinated hijacking of the criminal justice system. Behind the headlines and legal jargon lies a ruthless network of corruption, drug money, and betrayal. A network that's willing to destroy honest officers to keep its empire alive. Let's start with a man who calls himself Malcolm X. No, not the American activist. This is a Johannesburg businessman who's as flashy on TikTok as he is dangerous behind the scenes. In 2023, Malcolm X faced charges for bribing Saps officers with $580,000 to spring a suspect. Just like that, those charges vanished. That kind of legal disappearance doesn't happen without friends in very high places. But that's just the prelude. When alleged cartel enforcer KT Molefe was arrested in December 2024, Malcolm X didn't call a lawyer. He called none other than Godfrey Lebeya, the former head of the Hawks, South Africa's elite anti-crime unit. And Lebeya answered, "Let's be clear, civilians don't have the Hawks boss on speed dial unless they're part of the inner machinery." Lebeya claimed he just wanted to verify credentials, but no one buys that story anymore. That phone call wasn't protocol, it was a signal, a flag to the cartel that someone in Saps was about to expose their network. But Malcolm X isn't the real puppet master. That role belongs to Brown Maggs, a Northwest businessman known more for WhatsApp manipulation than public appearances. Dubbed the WhatsApp web of corruption, Maggs has been caught in leaked messages that show him pulling strings behind the scenes like a shadow commissioner. One particularly damning message, recovered from tenderpreneur Vimuzi Matlala's phone, reveals Maggs bragging that he shut down Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's political killings task team before the news broke. That's not gossip. That's access to restricted, potentially classified intelligence. This is where Police Minister Senzo Mchunu enters the frame. In Parliament, he denied even knowing Mkhwanazi, a lie he couldn't sustain. When confronted with the evidence, he backtracked, admitting they were comrades from the Northwest. That about-face isn't just suspicious. It could qualify as perjury under the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament Act. Worse still, leaked messages suggest Motsi organised private meetings between Mchunu and Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Chibia, all to neutralise Mkhwanazi's task team from within. It's the classic political playbook. Don't kill the operation in public, suffocate it in silence. And what exactly was this task team doing? Investigating over 600 cases, securing 100+ convictions, and zeroing in on a drug cartel moving cocaine through Durban's port. Cartel operations worth hundreds of millions of rand. The team was effective. Too effective. When they got shut down, 121 dockets tied to murders, narcotics, and financial crimes were quietly shelved in Pretoria, untouched, buried. That's not incompetence. That's calculated obstruction of justice. Inside those files, ballistic evidence linking weapons, an AK-47 and a pistol, to hits like the assassination of Armand Schwartz and attempts on whistleblowers like Tobogo Thone. Financial records show a steady flow of payments from Matlala to Motsi, with traces leading directly to Machunu's circle. These aren't rumors. These are data points connecting murder, money, and political muscle. Now here's the bombshell. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi claims the network is directly tied to a Gauteng-based drug cartel, the same cartel connected to a 2021 bust where Saps officers were arrested moving R200 million worth of cocaine. That cocaine didn't just disappear, it was laundered through fake tenders. One of those tenders, a R360 million Saps contract awarded to Matlala. That contract wasn't for stationery. It was an alleged laundering vehicle for cartel profits, funneled through Motsi and possibly into ANC campaign financing. Malcolm X's infamous call to Lebeya during Molefe's arrest wasn't about verifying officer IDs. It was a disruption tactic. Molefe wasn't just a random suspect. He's tied to hits, including the murder of DJ Somebody. That second police team Lebeya dispatched didn't help. They interfered, potentially sabotaging an arrest that could have brought down the entire cartel. The cover-up didn't stop with the police. The courts appear infiltrated too. Mkhwanazi was asked to provide specifics by Judge President Kagni Musi, yet those 121 dockets remain frozen. Delays in prosecuting Matlala's tender fraud and Malcolm X's vanished bribery charges all suggest judicial manipulation. If that's the case, it's a violation of Section 34 of the Constitution, which guarantees access to justice. So who's complicit? Look up. Minister Mchunu lied under oath. Deputy Commissioner Sibia quietly buried case files. Lebeya answered a criminal's call and acted on it. And Saps National Commissioner Fanny Masemola, silent, absent, complicit through inaction. This isn't just corruption, this is betrayal. The Hawks, despite boasting 239 convictions in the first quarter of 2025, are operating with a 50% vacancy rate, making them vulnerable. Lebeya's decision to engage with Malcolm X shows how deeply compromised their leadership is. The numbers don't lie. Mkhwanazi's unit had a 16% conviction rate on major crimes, terrifying for a syndicate that thrives in darkness. What's next? By September 2025, expect a PR stunt. Maybe a massive R500 million cocaine bust to shift the narrative. They'll sell it as a win. Meanwhile, the real decision makers, the ones who silenced Mkhwanazi's unit, will remain untouched. Malcolm X's erratic media campaign, with TV denials and radio spin, is textbook misdirection. Just enough chaos to distract from the buried evidence. Just enough drama to keep the public from connecting the dots. But the dots are connecting. Malcolm X's links to the Patriotic Alliance's Kenny Kunene and his presence at Molefe's arrest aren't innocent. They're red flags. So is the ANC proximity. His legal Teflon status in 2023, bribery charges dropped without a whisper, suggests he's protected under Section 4 of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, the clause meant to target influence peddlers. Ironically, it now protects them. And make no mistake, the attack on Mkhwanazi is far from over. They tried smearing him in March 2025, calling his methods reckless. That failed. But they'll try again, because his evidence, dockets, ballistic reports, financial trails, is too dangerous to let stand. This is no longer about one police general. It's about the soul of South Africa's justice system. Will we allow criminals to buy their way out? Will we let backroom deals decide who gets prosecuted and who gets promoted? Will we let syndicates bury police units just because they get too close to the truth? Right now, while you're reading this, those 121 dockets are gathering dust. Whistleblowers are getting threats. Evidence is disappearing. And the public, only 22% of whom trust Saps, according to the Human Sciences Research Council, are being played. But there is resistance. Over 10,500 people have signed petitions demanding protection for Mkhwanazi. Civil society is watching, journalists are digging, whistleblowers are leaking. And the truth? It refuses to stay buried. Mkhwanazi is in the crosshairs. But his evidence might just bring the entire house down. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to stay tuned for more story breakdowns. Goodbye.